Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. We need to recap. Now we got a couple games to recap when it comes to Saturday in week 12. So without further ado, let's just dive in. We got Tulsa and San Antonio, Northern Arizona and San Diego. Let's get after it. All right, kicking things off with our Saturday recap. We start with the earlier game between Tulsa and San Antonio. As we mentioned in the preview, these two teams have already met once this season with Tulsa pulling out the victory. Can they do it again? Let's find out. Gunslingers, San Antonio start with a good kick return for Riverius Rivers, and then San Antonio marches right down the field. RPO keeper for Fred Payton. Tulsa bites on the RB running back, and he is all alone. Left side into the end zone goes Mr. Payton at 7-0 for the Gunslingers. TJ Edwards and Tulsa with a couple of runs past midfield as the Oilers get their first drive going. And then they get inside the red zone. Tulsa faces a dreaded 4th and goal in the red zone. Edwards will run it in for the score. The curse is lifted, and we are tied at 7. Next drive, KJ Smith with a rush into Tulsa territory, and not much after that. 4th and 3 for the Gunslingers. Payton throws to Glenn Gibbons, and no dice. Tulsa gets the stop just in time for one play, one touchdown. We know it, you know it. I scream, you scream, we all scream for Jermaine Smith catching a touchdown into the end zone. 14-7, Tulsa takes the lead. KJ Smith with a couple of runs to move the chains here for the Gunslingers on this next drive, followed by a catch from Glenn Gibbons to set up a 1st and goal, and then a bad low snap for San Antonio. Payton has to eat it all the way back to midfield. 3rd and long, 3rd and goal upcoming. Payton throws to the end zone, and what a freaking interception for Justin Harrington. And he had one against, it wasn't Fishers, was it Green or San Diego? He had one against San Diego that didn't count. He pinned it up against the boards, but he kind of makes up for it this week. One hell of an interception for him. TJ Edwards is going to buy some time. Cassian Foreman is open in the middle of the field for a 1st down, and plenty more for the Oilers. RPO handoff. Caleb Ramseur cuts left, has the edge, and he boogies on down to the San Antonio 4. TJ Edwards goes left side, and he goes in. It's a touchdown for the Oilers. 21-7. They extend their lead. Another bad San Antonio snap. Payton able to get it, and he gains some sort of yards. Chicken salad out of, KJ Smith, 3rd and 1 rush ahead for the 1st down and some more, making it 1st down at the Tulsa 11. And then a big loss for San Antonio for 3rd down, not much doing. 4th and about 10 upcoming. The offense is going to go for it. Payton takes off, gets inside the 5, but takes a pop from Harrington to turn the ball over on downs. Oilers will gain some yards, but an unsportsmanlike will move them back half the distance. And then a couple of plays for Caleb Ramseur. He's picking up some nice yardage, and what a signing he has been for Tulsa, and what a player he has been in this game. He's got some nice yards in this game. Motion jet sweep handoff to the right. San Antonio jumps to the left. It's a 1st and goal at the 5 as we hit the 1-minute warning of the first half. Oilers trying to get the clock moving and score last before the half. Gunslingers, they're using their timeouts. Wide open in the end zone. Guess who? You know who it is. We know who it is. It's Jermaine Smith again. It's 28-7. Tulsa up by 21 points with 39 seconds to play. Deep pass caught by Glenn Gibbons to the Tulsa 6. It's 1st and goal with 32 seconds left. And then Payton throws to the end zone once more. Trey Harvey has an interception off a tipped pass. Tulsa has a chance to add more points after that with 11 seconds. It'll be 11 seconds after this. Edwards tries a moonshot to the end zone again, but Riverius Rivers will pick it right back off. Now we have 11 seconds. Got ahead of myself there. Gunslingers gain some yards, but time runs out. Nope. They put 1 second back on the clock. Tyler Huddle comes out for a field goal before the half, and he hits it. San Antonio adds 3 points right before the final, or not the final gun, but the end of the first half gun. 28-10. Oilers lead by 18 points. Edwards gets the second half underway with the 1st down pass to Cassian Foreman. Unsportsmanlike on San Antonio, with Caleb Ramseur having some rushing yards, and Tulsa's moving on their first drive. Edwards tries a play-action keeper to the left. San Antonio gets him for a loss. It's 4th and goal now. Bailey Hale comes out for a field goal. He hits it. Simple as that. I mean, we've got some kickers making some field goals in this one compared to other games where sometimes they can't hit the broadside of a barn. I digress. 31-10 in favor of Tulsa. Deon McShane has a 1st down catch, and San Antonio needs to get going here. They're down by 21. Payton to McShane on a post route, wide open in the end zone. Gunslingers get one back. It's 31-17. Can they get a stop? Payton over the middle for Edwards. Cassian Foreman with another catch, but the ball is jarred loose. San Antonio recovers. They get their stop. So I can't remember if this was challenged or not, but if it was ruled differently. I don't think it was challenged. I think they just kind of went with it. So caught, fumble, San Antonio recovers. Austin Upshaw, Glenn Gibbons each have some receptions on this drive. First and goal for the Gunslingers pretty quickly here. Payton gets sacked, and Tulsa's defense comes up big, bringing San Antonio to a 4th and goal from the 16 and a false start. Tyler Huddle comes out for a field goal kick. It goes wide right, no good. Oilers will take back over. And then Caleb Ramseur rushes twice for a first down as we end the 3rd quarter. 2 more plays for Ramseur for another movement of said chains. Tulsa wanting to tack on some points and waste some clock a little bit. 6 plays, 3 first downs. So every other play was practically a first down as Oilers just moving methodically down this field. Edwards calls his own number, rushes left side. He takes it in for another score. 38-17. The Oilers go back up by 21. Gunslingers drive goes 3 and out with some lost yardage. 4th down. They're going to go for it here. Payton scrambles, makes some moves, and picks up the 4th and 15 conversion. San Antonio able to get down the field. Payton finds KJ Smith right side end zone, and he goes in. Touchdown at San Antonio. It's 38-23 with a blocked extra point. Onside kick for San Antonio. It's recovered and taken in for a Tulsa touchdown. There goes that man again. Jermaine Smith with a kick return touchdown, 45-23, and just like that, Tulsa answers right back. Payton, though, heaves to the end zone. Alfonso Taylor picks him off, but a flag will negate it. Out route for Gibbons to go inside the Tulsa 5. Payton lofts to the end zone. Another Tulsa flag. Gunslingers trying to run the ball after the 1-minute warning. Down 3 scores. Payton has no gain. It's 3rd and goal. And then Payton to Upshaw, back of the end zone. It's a touchdown for San Antonio, 45-30. And then onside recover, Tulsa gets it. So they take that, they run out the clock, they take the victory in San Antonio by the score, 45-30. All right, taking a look at the stats on the screen in front of us. It was pretty much Tulsa's from the get-go. Getting up to a 28-7 lead, 28-10 at the half, and then just not really relinquishing it. Defense was able to make stops. Special team was able to get some stops, and they were able to score, man. The offense was able to come out and play. I wouldn't say it was Tulsa's best game by any means, but at the same time, they were able to come out and get the victory. And at certain points, San Antonio did kind of look a little lost. All things considered, the offense just kind of struggles to score some points at times, and at one point, when the defense looks really good in a game like this, they looked very, very average at best, and Tulsa kind of exploited that. Obviously, Jermaine Smith able to take advantage of it. I think 2 touchdowns that he had, and then he had the kick return touchdown as well, and then being able to mix run and pass in this game. Caleb Ramseur, you see it right there, 71 rushing yards, and Tulsa might actually have a running game all of a sudden. So taking a look at our game leaders on the left side, we've already kind of talked about it a little bit. TJ Edwards, 13 of 15, so again, very, very accurate in this game. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 129 passing yards. That will play, and not having to throw the ball all over the yard, he was able to be pretty precise with it, very accurate with it, kind of dink and dunk your way down the field, because Caleb Ramseur, your leading rusher, 12 carries, 71 yards. He was able to take some of the heat off of that passing game and able to, move the chains 5-6 yards at a time. And, we mentioned it, there was that one drive where he was just running all over, whether it's a 5-yard chunk play and then a second run, he was able to pick up 6 and move the chains, and whatever it could be, he was able to run when it mattered most. So kudos to them for being able to mix their run and pass in this one. Jermaine Smith, your leading receiver for Tulsa, 4 catches, 53 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Again, it's not the best day at the office, but it will do just fine to secure the victory, considering stat padding and whatever it could be. But Jermaine Smith making the most of what he had. Only 4 catches, 53 yards. Obviously, you want more. Obviously, you want more catches, you want more yards, things along like that. But at the same time, when 2 of those are touchdowns and you have a kick return touchdown, you'll be fine. For the San Antonio side, Fred Payton, leading rusher and passer, 14 of 24, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. There was really no one behind him. I'm not trying to make light of Joaquin Collazo being on short-term injured reserve, or it was his game to go, whether he was good or bad. There was really no one that was going to be there to kind of back him up. If he got hurt, you'd have to find someone. But at the same time, this is the kind of experience you get with, we don't know what quarterback we're starting, we don't know what we're doing. But at this point in time, you gotta kind of have that guy that is going to start either the rest of the season or something like that. So whether or not that's Peyton, and I'm not trying to, again, he played a decent game, all things considered. You were playing from behind for most of the game, trying to make the most of it, threw 2 interceptions, trying to get the running game going. He couldn't really get it going, but all things considered, he was all right. He did rush for 36 yards on 12 carries and 1 touchdown, so he accounted for, I believe, all 4 touchdowns that they had, and then the 1 field goal. So he was making the most of it. Glenn Gibbons is your leading receiver with 6 catches for 60 yards, no touchdowns. Those touchdowns came by the way of, I want to say, KJ Smith and Austin Upshaw, and I think Deion McShane, something like that. I could be completely mistaken, so I won't try and say, oh, that's what it was. So regardless, not a bad day for Glenn Gibbons. Just wish he would have converted one of those into a touchdown, but what can you do? Taking a look at the stats on the right side here, neither team really doing much on 3rd and 4th down. Tulsa, if you believe these stats, Tulsa able to convert their 4th down conversions. Not really much doing in the way of San Antonio. Total yards favor Tulsa, and again, like I said, it's just kind of a lack of an offense thing for San Antonio. They were able to move the ball a little bit, but once those 3rd and 4th downs, and again, you had a couple bad snaps in this one, once you started getting into those, it was just really tough, man. It was really tough. And Tulsa able to convert on theirs. They were able to connect on some moonshots. And you notice it more and more in this game, that, not this game specifically, but for Tulsa's game plan, they will take shots downfield. I think San Antonio is more than happy just trying to, dink and dunk their way down. They're 5-6 yards, run the ball a little bit, do what they can do. And even late in the game, they're still trying to run the ball down 3 scores, which I'm not sure why. Passing favors Tulsa, not by much though, and like I said, just kind of a pretty accurate day for Tulsa, not nearly as much for San Antonio. You do have the 2 interceptions there. Rushing, again, favors Tulsa. Caleb Ramseur, you might have found your running back. You might have found your running game that Tulsa's been wanting for probably the last 2 seasons. Like I've mentioned it before, they had a backup quarterback being their running back. They brought in Jimmy Smith for a couple of games last year and this season, and it didn't really work. I think they had Martez Carter at one point too, and it wouldn't work. So it's worked in this game. Field goals, both kickers hit a field goal, and penalties. I don't believe those penalties one bit. I think San Antonio had a couple more than that. Tulsa's might be accurate, but I'm not sure about the yardage. So regardless, we move on from there. And then turnovers, 2 turnovers each for both sides. Taking a look at the defensive statistics here, 3 sacks for Tulsa, 5 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions, and 4 pass breakups. Justin Harrington, 3 solo tackles, 4 assisted for a total of 5. He had 1 pick and 3 pass breakups. Trey Harvey, 3 solo tackles, 5 assisted for a total of 5.5. 1 tackle for a loss and 1 interception. And then Tariq Bracy, your leading tackler, 5 solo tackles for the Oilers, for Tariq Bracy and the Oilers, and then 4 assisted for a total of 7 with 1 pass breakup. San Antonio's side of things, Ravarius Rivers, your leading tackler, 5 solo, 5 assisted for a total of 7.5, 1 interception to his name. And then Larry Brooks, he doesn't have a solo tackle, but 3 assisted tackles, half a tackle for a loss, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. So not a bad day for him. Conroy Cunningham on the defensive line, 4 tackles, 4 assisted for a total of 6. And overall, the Gunslingers had 1.5 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, which I think that was Fred Payton recovering his own, and then 1 interception to go along with it. So that's where we kind of have it in this game. Just, it's not dominance by any means, and San Antonio was able to get back a little bit in it, but just too little, too late. Tulsa had already set the tone by going up pretty big in the end of the first half. So with that, let's go take a look at our bet and our prediction, or just our bet, I guess, whatever. And then we've got another recap to do after this. I will gladly take a Tulsa money line victory. Recap number 2. We got another rematch as well. We got San Diego taking on Northern Arizona. They had already met earlier this season, and just like Tulsa and San Antonio, spoiler alert, the same team won that rematch. So We start off with the strike force starting with 2 rushes for Tyrell Green, and we are setting the tone early in the rushing category. Although it's 4th and short, toss out to Green, he picks up a first down. What team is this? A couple of early false starts on San Diego as well, so some mental mistakes going on here. Jalen Sample with the catch inside of the Northern Arizona 15 for a first. Strike force just milking the clock. A long, sustained drive for San Diego to start here. And then Davis pump fakes, and wide open is Dallas Daniels' right side. He's in for the touchdown, 7-0 strike force. And then, to make it better, Ernesto Lacayo hits a deuce, and it's 9-0 in favor of San Diego. Anthony Garrett in Northern Arizona face the heat. He delivers a pass to Ben Omeabu, who has it stripped, and it's recovered by Devin Hafford. San Diego ball. 1 play, 1 touchdown. Jalen Sample catch on the right side, dashers for a touchdown, and the extra point is good. And suddenly, 16-0 San Diego. It's a pretty perfect start for them here. Wranglers facing a 4th down on their next drive. Garrett overthrows his target, and San Diego begins on the Northern Arizona side of the field. So, the rich kind of getting richer here. Tyrell Green with a decent rush, breaking tackles, and gets about 8 yards or so. Davis with time. Dallas Daniels behind his man. He has his 2nd touchdown of the evening. It's still the first quarter. It's 23-0. Garrett able to use his legs. He converts a first down, trying to get something going. Wide open in the end zone. Ben Omeabu just drops it. He had a touchdown. Instead, we just end the first quarter. Northern Arizona is going to challenge an illegal defense, and they win it, so they gain 5 yards, and instead of that incompletion, they get kind of a penalty in their favor. Garrett throws to the end zone dashers. It's low. It's caught. Karan Ashley has it. Refs signal touchdown, and San Diego is now leading 23-7 as Northern Arizona is on the board. Handoff up the middle. Tyrell Green rocket boosts for a first down and much more. It's a first down to the Northern Arizona 11. And then Kyle Kelly follows his blockers. He's in at quarterback for San Diego. He gains the edge to the goal line, and he takes it in. A touchdown again for San Diego, 30-7. Garrett tries to get rid of it out of the end zone. I don't know if that's grounding. I could see a case for it, but the refs call it incomplete. 3rd and long, Garrett checks down and only gains a few yards. 4th down, the offense staying out there. Garrett darts a pass to Karan Ashley, and they convert a first down. 3 straight receptions for Ashley and another movement of the chains. Garrett gets sacked after that. Ball pops free. Strike force fall on it. Rashawn Yates with the recovery. 3rd and short quickly upcoming for San Diego. Quick pass to Sample. It converts. First down for the strike force. And then what a throw by Nate Davis. Over the defender's outstretched arms, Dallas Daniels has a hat-trick touchdown in the first half. It is 37-7 for San Diego. They are rolling right now. Garrett pass to the end zone's tipped. It's almost intercepted. Garrett, he also took a huge hit after that throw. He's able to get back up. But DeMarcus Bryant comes into the game at quarterback now for Northern Arizona. San Diego loves taking out Northern Arizona quarterbacks at home, which that's a reference to Caleb Lowe getting knocked out last year when they played San Diego in San Diego. It's not a cheap shot by any means. And then, oh no, Northern Arizona. DeMarcus Bryant trying to throw it. The ball slips out of his hands as he tries to get rid of it. He falls down. Adam Anderson for San Diego has a scoop and score. San Diego goes up 44-7 at the 1-minute warning. Anthony Garrett comes back in at quarterback. It's 3rd and 7. He heaves it deep. Karan Ashley is wide open. He catches it against a fan, and he scores. Amazed there was no flag for the finger guns right in front of the ref because he was doing one of these kind of things, and no flag, which most of the time stupid taunting things will get you a flag, but when they try and crack down on the finger guns, man, don't you freaking do this. That's 15 yards. He did it right in front of a ref, no flag. So good on them for not throwing that too. 44-14 Northern Arizona. They pull one back there. 3 seconds left in the half. And then Davis to Daniels again over the wall. He hung on to it. Hail Mary at the half. Dallas Daniels. Touchdown, number 4 for that man. Shane Hooks for San Diego is ejected, along with Brendan Looper for Northern Arizona as they both threw punches. And then Northern Arizona challenges a false start and loses it. The touchdown stands. Extra point is good for San Diego. It's 51-14 as we hit the halftime break. Garrett gets sacked to start the second half. It's 3rd and long. It's a pass over the middle. It's Karan Ashley again. He has been Northern Arizona's offense, it seems tonight, at least the passing attack. Garrett lobs it up. Ashley brings it down. There he goes again. First and goal for the Wranglers. Third and goal. Garrett rolls right, throws incomplete. Fourth and goal. Garrett rushes right, and he goes in for the score, but he slid. Did he slide before he got into the end zone? Where do they mark it? Is it a touchdown? San Diego's going to challenge, and they lose it. The touchdown stands. I feel like it shouldn't be a touchdown because it's where you start the slide, and I think it was Ari Wolf was the commentator on this game. I'm not a ref, but like he was saying, it's where you start your slide, and he was clearly not across the goal line, but regardless, 51-21, Northern Arizona. Well, they don't lead, but they scored the touchdown. They go for an onside kick and bounces out of bounds. San Diego takes over. Kyle Kelly checks back in at quarterback for San Diego. He evades some pressure and scampers for a few yards as Nate Davis checks back in one play later. Inside the 4, Davis throws end zone. It's picked. Kieran Page with the interceptions. He's going to take off. He has blockers. He has a lane. He has a sideline. He has a pick 6 for the Wranglers. It's 51-28 as they're trying to work a miracle here. Big run up the middle for Tyrell Green. He picks up a first, followed by another bruising rush inside the Northern Arizona 5, setting up a first and goal. And then it's Tyrell Green on this drive. All Tyrell Green practically. RPO handoff untouched to the end zone he goes. 58-28, and then the strike force just kind of squash any sort of momentum that Northern Arizona is trying to gather. And then, even more so, then Ernesto Lacayo hits deuce number 2, 60-28 in favor of San Diego. More pressure on Garrett on the next drive. He's able to chuck it deep, but Kobe Smith brings it in for a first, and then a roughing the passer after that. It's going to help out Northern Arizona too. Wranglers get into goal-to-go situation. He can't score. It's fourth down as we enter the fourth quarter. Bryant comes back in at quarterback as we begin the final frame, and he throws it incomplete. So he comes in for one play. Okay, San Diego takes over on downs. Deep shot for Sample. It tips off the hands incomplete. Third and long facing San Diego. Sample redeems himself with a catch in stride for a first. And then Tyrell Green again rushes for a first down to the Northern Arizona 8. Running back draw. Green goes over a defender and in a touchdown strike for 67-28. Ben Omeabu breaks off a nice kick return, but runs out of gas at midfield. So he was trying to, reverse direction, cut inside, cut outside, anything like that. And what was really good, just ran out of gas at midfield, trying to juke his way to keep getting more yards. Bryant to Ashley, left side pass brings up a first and goal. Smith back of the end zone touchdown grab. Wranglers not giving up regardless of the score. It's 67-35. Quarterback draw on third down. Kyle Kelly again at quarterback rushes forward into the first down into Northern Arizona territory. More rushing, more first down conversions as San Diego just trying to milk the clock, potentially score another one here. Page has an interception and he takes another one back to the house, but a flag will say otherwise. Northern Arizona roughing the passer, and then just more rushing, strike force run out the clock. They take the victory 67-35. All right, taking a look at the stats in front of us. This one was pretty much done by the end of the first quarter. I say it in a lot of games, depending on how the scores go and stuff like that, but when you look at what San Diego was able to accomplish, 28 points alone in the second quarter, and Northern Arizona only scored 35, it was done, man. Second half was just kind of a formality at that point. And yes, Northern Arizona kind of made a little bit of noise with the pick 6 and scoring a touchdown before that to try and get back into it. By that time, there was just, you needed a miracle, and it never happened. So another slow start, another loss for Northern Arizona, another win for San Diego. And for all intents and purposes, man, I mean, San Diego, when they get clicking on offense, they get clicking on offense. Let's take a look at the game leaders on the left side here. Anthony Garrett, 14 of 30 for 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Again, it's just one of those days where it's not the best day, it's not the worst day. You wish for a little bit more accuracy. He looked a lot better than what he has. I think it was 4 of 14 in his first start. So, I mean, being able to get more chemistry and start learning the offense and things like that, it's not bad. Where you wish it was a little bit better was that rushing category. 4 carries for 9 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, yes, there's some sack yardage in there, I'm sure, and there's definitely some other things going on with that. But for all intents and purposes, San Diego just shut down the run game. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were forced to throw. Again, after that first quarter, they were shut out, and you needed to get back into it some way, somehow. There was no way in hell that you were going to try and rely on the running game, even though you could have. Karan Ashley, 11 receptions, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The man was possessed, and I don't know how else to describe it because he was practically the offense. 140 receiving yards, and Garrett had 183 passing yards. 11 receptions, Garrett had 14 completions. So, for all intents and purposes, man, I know DeMarcus Bryant had a couple of throws in there as well, but for all intents and purposes, and I think I've said that like 5 times already, Karan Ashley was the offense. You throw it up, he's going to get it. There was no one that could even compare, which is insane because San Diego just kind of let him open, I guess. Taking a look at the San Diego side, Nate Davis, he didn't have to throw too much in this game, but he still made it count. 13 of 17, really accurate with it, 166 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a lot of that pretty much came in the first quarter, whatever it could be, all of those touchdown passes to Dallas Daniels. We get to him in a second. Also impressive here, Tyrell Green, 15 carries for 100 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Edward Vander hasn't played in the last couple of games, so we don't know what injury or what's going on with him. But picking up Tyrell Green, which he's been around in this team for quite a while, but to let his talents kind of explode the way that they have recently, I don't know. I've always been on record saying that San Diego's been a run-first team, so more power to him when it comes with that. I'm kidding, of course, but yeah, a really good running game for San Diego, and that can add a new dynamic to this team. Excuse me. If they're able to get Tyrell Green and that running game going, can you imagine if he's getting it going and you have Edward Vander in the backfield as well to kind of, spell him or whatever the case could be, or if he's out there catching passes? It's going to be kind of insane if they can get that working. Speaking of catching passes, Dallas Daniels, 7 catches, 98 yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns. Dude was also on fire. It's pretty much between the two quarterbacks. Just throw it up to your number one guy and watch them come down with it again. Four receiving touchdowns all in the first half, 7 catches. So it's like every other catch was a touchdown, 98 receiving yards. Again, more touchdowns, not nearly as many receptions, not nearly as many yards, but a very, very good day for Dallas Daniels considering the amount of points he put up there. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side here, somehow San Diego completed more third downs than they attempted. So we got to fix that. Indoor Football League stats. For the most part, the third downs, which if it's true that there was no fourth down for San Diego, then fantastic. They completed all of their third downs, which is just magnificent too. But looking at that third down conversion chart for Northern Arizona, a lot to be desired. And third down quite a bit, and fourth down quite a bit, and they only converted a couple at a time. Total yards clearly favored San Diego, which is insane, again, when you consider how far Northern Arizona was playing from behind. But a lot of turnovers and stuff made it happen for San Diego. And again, some short fields as Northern Arizona was trying to get onside kicks to try and get back into it. So what can you do? Taking a look at the take a look at the passing first, and it's actually 192 in favor of Northern Arizona to 172 in favor of San Diego. And yeah, that's all that Northern Arizona did. So there's no other way that you can kind of go about it. San Diego was probably going to lose that battle if Northern Arizona wasn't even going to run it. Speaking of running, look at the difference in that. Most of the time it's San Diego getting blown out in the running category, but this time they pulled the opposite. Only 8 rushing yards for the Wranglers on 6 rushing attempts. And whether or not that's accurate, I'm not sure. But if that is truly accurate, that is absolutely pitiful. That might be the worst rushing stat I've ever seen. And we've seen some negative rushing stats in this league so far. But some of that is because of sacks. Some of that's because fumbles going behind people's heads and stuff like that. If this is truly what it was, and I might have to go back and rewatch it to make sure, this is bad. Where do you go from here with that? And then 131, again, 100 of that is Tyrell Green, and the rest of that is, I think Kyle Kelly ran for a little bit too. He did score a touchdown. So he did use his legs to take over when Nate Davis came out. Field goals, neither team attempted one. And then penalties, I can see both of those. Players got ejected, so whether or not you include those, whatever it could be, there's some offsetting, I think, when it came to that. So I'm not sure, but that seems pretty accurate. Yeah, whatever. It's always been wrong practically this entire season. 3 turnovers for Northern Arizona, 3 fumbles. They lost 3 fumbles in this one, and then just the 1 interception, which was the pick 6 for Northern Arizona, which again, they scored 35 points. You take that pick 6 out of the equation, they only scored 28 as an offense. That is not good. And you kind of have to just look at that and go, what are we doing? So all in all, it was just San Diego from the jump, and they jumped all over them. Taking a look at the defensive stats really quick, 2.5 tackles for a loss for the Wranglers, and then 1 interception for the pick 6. That's it. Your leading tackler, Traveris Farrell, 5 solo tackles, 4 assisted for a total of 7. And then Kieran Page, 1 solo tackle and 8 assisted for a total of 5. Looking at the San Diego side of things, Herman Smith, your leading tackler, with 4 solo tackles and 3 pass breakups. And then Trajan Anderson Watts, 3 solo tackles, 1 assisted for 3.5 total tackles. Overall, the Strike Force had 1 sack, 2.5 tackles for a loss, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and 8 pass breakups. So, San Diego putting in the work. Let's go see if we put in the work on our bet, and then we will wrap everything up. We will get out of here. Now remember, this spread was not what I picked. It was over 86.5, but it did not matter whether it was the over or the spread or anything like that. It all managed to cover. And that is it for our recap from our Saturday slate of action. Just the 2 games to speak of between Tulsa and San Antonio, and then Northern Arizona and San Diego. We got one more recap to do for Week 12. It is the IFL Cup games. You've got the consolation game and then the championship game. So be on the lookout for that, as I'm just kind of taking my time with this one. It's a shorter week, so had more time to plan other things and kind of get things kind of situated for next year. I'm already in the process of trying to figure out what I want to do with this channel for next year and how I kind of want to go about things. So a lot of thought needs to go into that, and starting to get all the previews and everything set up for Week 12, as well as we start getting into the very, very heavy meat and potatoes of the rest of this schedule as the playoffs really start to kind of heat themselves up here. At least the playoff positions really start to heat themselves up here. We're starting to see some separation. We'll see if it can tighten it back up, or if we'll just see more of it kind of spread itself out here when it comes to teams that are already going to start clinching. And whether it goes to the final week of the season remains to be seen. But regardless, still got one more recap to do. We got the previews and everything to do as well. So with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. If you want to, you can like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you don't, you don't have to. And I'm perfectly okay with that too. But until then, I will catch you guys on all the other videos, the recaps, previews, and everything as we get ready to finish off Week 11, as we go into Week 12, and we just go from there. So I'll catch you guys on all the other videos. Till then. See ya.